Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to Needles at the Ready. I am Kevin.
I am Ray.
Today is Sunday.
Yes.
February 16th. This is episode 129.
Good job without the decimal point in there.
Our YouTube channel where we talk about what is going on. Knitting, crochet, yarn dyeing, spinning, buying of all the things. So welcome back to all of our returning viewers.
Welcome.
And welcome to any new viewers. We actually have had quite a
few new viewers join us.
Subscribers, thank you.
So thank you so much.
Yes, we appreciate it.
If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead, feel free. Subscribe. You get nothing in return, but we get you get
notification.
If you ring the bell.
If you ring the bell, you get notifications.
Yeah.
So, we are a day late because we're both sick.
Yeah.
We've both been sick.
We're at the tail end of it, hopefully.
We
Fingers
hope
crossed.
so, yeah. We have both been sick since...
Is our microphone on? It seems a little off. Like, we usually keep it a little closer.
All right, well, there we go. We both have been sick since Monday. Mm-hmm. We've had the same exact symptoms, which is never... So, we very rarely get sick at the same time.
Yes. And
have the same symptoms. So, this has been really odd for us. Normally, like, one of us is a functioning human being, and the other one is not. So, that's been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. We've been feeding the cold. We've been eating like gluttons.
Yeah, the good thing was, though, in retrospect, is that I made soup on Sunday.
You did great. So
we had soup on Sunday, and then I made some chicken soup on Tuesday or Wednesday for us. I made some more chickens. Well, I made chicken soup. Before that, we had sausage and spinach soup. So that's kind of been how it's been going. So for me personally, there actually hasn't been a lot of crafting this week. Yesterday was the first day I knit in like 3 or 4 days. Yeah,
I the past 2 days, I want to say, I was able to kind of knit. It was one of those things where I just didn't even feel like it.
I know. We've watched a lot of television.
We sure have.
We've watched some movies, some TV shows, some YouTube channels. So we don't have a lot that's gone on over the last 2 weeks. The only thing I can think of is that 2 weeks ago, after the previous episode, we had mentioned that the following day we were thinking of going to the New England Farm and Fiber Festival in Boston, Massachusetts, which was put on by the owner, and I forget her name, of Wing and a Prayer Farm.
Yes.
So we did go, and we kind of made a day of it. We decided that evening. Okay, so that evening, Saturday, we went to my brother's.
Right. We decided while we were there.
Yeah, so it was our niece's Emma's birthday.
Right.
So we went to my brother's Saturday night after podcasting. Hanging out, we were just chatting, and while we were there, we decided to go. But then we realized that the tickets were for a 2-hour time slot, which, after the event, totally made sense.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, it's a 2.5-hour drive for us to go for 2 hours and then drive back for 2.5. So we then were questioning our decision and didn't know if it was going to make sense. But we reached out to Jen, Angie, and Annie.
Hi, guys.
Hi, friends. Who were going. And we kind of made plans to meet up beforehand, spend some time in Boston, and then go to the event. So it kind of worked out well. We met them at a yarn shop in Boston.
Boston Fiber? No.
Boston Fiber Co.
Yes, Boston Fiber Co. Cute little, beautiful shop.
Yes.
Very, very cute shop. In a cute little, like, artsy market thing.
Yeah.
Really sweet. It was, like, our first time in Boston, and I can't even tell you.
I don't know that you and I have been together. And
how long. I feel like we went to Quincy Market a long time ago.
Not together. Oh, maybe.
We did.
Maybe with Jen.
With Jen.
Yep.
And we had like lunch at a pub or something like that.
Yeah, so it's been quite a long time. For whatever reason, I thought Boston was much further away from us than it is.
Yeah, no.
It's not that bad of a drive, to be honest.
So we did that. It was really lovely to meet up with them.
Yeah.
We shopped. They had a huge sale.
Oh, did you bring the stuff that we got from there?
I brought my stuff. Your stuff hopefully is in your bag.
Okay. So we made a little small purchase there.
Yep.
And then we went to this place right next to the venue called Barcelona for lunch. We had some tapas.
It was our very first time having that. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was It was an adventure. It was fun.
The first place that we went to was how long of a wait?
A 2-hour wait for 5 of us to sit down and eat. So we're like, nope, peace out.
Yeah.
And we walked to Barcelona, had some lunch, and then we bought tickets for the 1 to 3 p.m. time slot.
Yes.
So we went to that. We got to say hi to some of you all. Mm-hmm. So thank you for stopping us and saying hi. We got to see Sue and her daughter.
Stop playing with these
I know, I'm sorry, I'm fidgety.
That's okay.
We have cough drops here and I've been playing with them. So
speaking of, does anybody put a cough drop in a cup of tea?
No.
I do. It makes the tea lovely. Menthol cough drop.
No.
Okay, carry on.
I feel like that destroys the tea.
Mm-mm. It makes it an experience.
So we got to see Sue and her daughter. We got to see Michelle from Woolens and I.
Yeah, that was a surprise. We weren't sure if she was going to make it or not.
We got to see Irina from Fiber Chats. Mm-hmm. Kate from the Knitting Posse. She was in Massachusetts.
Yes.
So she ended up making the trip, and then she drove home with us. So that was lovely to spend some time with her. It was a really good event. It was very...
It was in a really cool building.
Yes, it was a circular venue.
Yeah. And there were quite a lot of booths there. And it was interesting maneuvering around because it was kind of like zigzaggy almost.
Well,
because you had some booths around the sides and then some up the middle, but in some sections there were like 2 booths in the middle.
So I felt like it was a more intimate event.
I agree.
The booths were smaller than what you would see at like a Rhinebeck or something like that, right? So
and they all seemed about the same size, right?
Yeah, and because of the intimacy of it, that made sense for the 2-hour time slots.
Right.
Time slots. You didn't feel overwhelmed and you didn't feel crowded.
No.
So I thought that was really, really cool. They had...
And that was plenty of time to get through everything.
Absolutely. Plenty of time.
We didn't feel rushed, and we stopped a lot to chit-chat with people, and we were still able to see, I feel like, everything.
There was a great selection of different things. You had pottery, bags, indie yarn, farm-type yarn. There was some fiber. Yep. There was felting.
There was a lot of kits.
So I thought it was a really good event. I would definitely go again. I would even say, like, for us to do it again, we say this quite often, it would make sense to go up on like a Saturday night, spend the night, not have to drive 5 hours in one day. But if you're local to it and it's not that far, it was a good event and I would definitely recommend
it. Was
going.
Very chilly that day. It was quite cold.
It was cold.
And we definitely did a lot of walking.
We did.
In the city. And so like, I think staying there and having some destinations and ideas of like where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do.
Making a weekend of it.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah. So that was our experience there. Mm-hmm. And then other than that, we've done nothing because we've been sick. Mm-hmm. So Well,
I feel like did we go to my mom's house?
All right, so the day...
To visit my mom?
This is how we got sick. We're assuming. Is there was one day that we went to a bunch of places.
Right.
It was the only time that we were out last weekend. We went and picked up Reese and brought Reese to dance.
And it was only on Saturday.
It was only on Saturday. Then after we took Reese to dance, we went to 2 grocery stores. Well...
Oh, yeah, BJ's and...
We went to BJ's and Stop and Shop. I went to Stop and Shop. You went to BJ's. Or, nope, that's a lie. You went to got us lunch while I was in Stop and Shop.
Right.
You would have thought the world was ending.
I know, because they were talking about snow.
Snow, and then it was Super Bowl weekend, so...
Like, we don't live in New England.
That whole sports ball-y thing, people all
get
wings
story.
and stuff.
Good
Not
point.
only were people getting their wings and pizza
Yeah.
and dip stuff for Super Bowl, they were getting their eggs, milk, and bread for the French toast cook-off for a snowstorm.
It's so true.
The grocery store was ridiculous.
We didn't even get a lot of snow.
No, we didn't. And then we went to your mother's, had lunch, hung out for a bit, came home, didn't watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, and got sick on Monday.
I can verify that we did not catch our cold from my mother.
Correct.
Because she was fine.
And I don't think we got it from the kids because based on Facebook or Instagram posts, it seems like Reese and Riley have been fine all week.
Fine. Okay.
So it must have been some
grocery store germ.
Yeah. So that has been our 2 weeks. We will talk about... Do we have admin-y stuff? Oh, yes.
Yeah, we have 3 things, actually.
Next Saturday, we will be heading to Skein Yarn Shop to drop off a wholesale order to the store. So we plan on being there by 12:30 at the latest. So if you want to stop by and say hi, come on over.
Get a shirt.
Get a sweatshirt.
They're super comfy.
They are comfy. I was wearing mine earlier in the week. So we will be there Saturday from probably 12:30 till 4.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit earlier. Possibly 12. We just have to get haircuts before we go.
We do. But it's always... I love heading out that way. It feels like home, which is really sweet, you know? And we get to see our girls again. Yeah. All of them. But yeah, it'll be good. We'll be there in person. It's not a trunk show.
No.
We're just bringing our yarn to stock there. But we'll be there to chit chat. And we'll help you choose some yarns and stuff like that if you're interested, or if you want to just come and hang out and knit. They have plenty of room at the table.
Yes.
And the table should be set up because we won't be taking over that giant table.
No, we will not be taking that table. So so we'll be doing that next weekend.
I wonder what projects I'm going to bring with me to work on.
I don't know. What else admin stuff do we have?
So then, did you end up choosing a winner for Socks for Sam?
No.
Okay. We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah, well, we've been sick.
I know.
There hasn't been a lot going on here.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that next time.
You know what?
Listen,
you talk. I'm going to put it in the calendar for the next podcast.
Great.
Right
Love
now.
We're, it's real life, right?
Next podcast is...
Okay, can you do that silently so I can continue to talk? Thanks. We also are taking part in the New to You Mal that Cocktail Hour at the Coop is doing. They do this every year. We are prize donors for that. If you're not sure what that is, we'll have Cocktail Hour at the Coop linked down below. If you follow them on Instagram, I just saw it.
I know. They tagged us too.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, great.
So it runs until February 28th, and you just have to use the hashtag NewToYouMal2025. You post your photo with the hashtag, or if you don't want to do that, you can send it to Cocktail Hour at the Coop as the DM.
Yeah.
And
there's a couple. And it's a new technique, a new craft, new way of doing things, just anything that you want or that you have tried or you're starting new for 2025. So, yeah.
Yeah, it could be, color work for the first time.
Some of these.
It could be quilting. It could be...
Oh, look, they have a little montage of us.
Look at us. So
hey,
cute.
Who are those folks?
So cute. As Justine and Lori would say, so cute.
So cute. So anyway, we're taking part in there. We'll have, like I said, we'll have it linked all down below. Try something new. I am using the Tunisian crochet as kind of my entry into it, which I'll show you my progress on that.
Did I try anything new? And
it doesn't need to be like I've done Tunisian crochet before. I've done only like dishcloth. So this is the new to me is actually like do a pattern, like a shawl or something like that.
And you're doing
the
linen stitch.
Like that. Yeah.
So that's new.
I know. Look at me being all fresh and so clean.
And then the only other thing that we have is we're still doing the From a Book Mal with the fellas from Fiber Hustle and Michael
touched that project.
From Piece for Piece Crafting. Me either.
But good thing that we have all year to get it done.
So, again, simple Mal, no prizes. Just use the hashtag. Just, promoting using books that you have in your library that we purchased to knit something from and we never have.
Right.
So it's just a way for us to get to use our books.
Love it.
All right.
I think that's all.
All right, so we're going to jump into some knitting and spinning. We have, between the two of us, one FO, which is not here. And I have 6-ish whips. And then we have some filler conversations to have.
Okay, great. So I did take a picture of, you know what I will actually, because we need more content. No, we don't need more content. We could just sit here and chat the entire time or just be, what am I looking for?
Your mom.
Thanks. How do you know that?
Because I know you.
Good job. My mother finished... This is so cute. She's so cute. Let me just download the picture because apparently I can't get technology to work for me. My mom made a hat. So cute with the beautiful pom-pom on the top. I'm not sure what the pattern is. I think she might have just kind of made it up. She used 3 different color yarns. It looks like it's a worsted weight yarn, 2x2 rib. And she put a cute little pom-pom on top. How about that?
Very cute.
Yeah, that's my mom's FO. Congratulations, Mom. Looks great. Okay, and then my FO, I did finish the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. I used DK weight yarn. I used worsted weight yarn, Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. The colorways, by the way, you can find all of this information on my Ravelry page. Just saying, with the yarns and stuff that I used. So the colorway I think is almond and chestnut. Chestnut is the darker color for the cuffs, and then almond is the lighter color there. And I think they came out really nice.
Yeah, and they fit her really well.
They're a little bit too small for me, but they fit her really, really well. They're really cute. They were super easy to do. The only change that I made in the pattern is that I did make one rights and make one lefts when I was doing the thumb gusset.
I do the same thing.
Increases. So you can kind of see it a little bit there. Like right up here.
Yeah.
And so that was really the only modification that I made. I did everything else as written. The one thing that and this is a free pattern, one thing that I might have changed or I might do again is at the top of the mitten when you're doing your decreases for your fingers, it has you decrease to a set number. I think it's like 8 or something, depending on the size that you do, and then you just thread the yarn through the needles and you cinch it closed. I probably next time would just do a Kitchener stitch, just to kind of close it up like I would a toe. Only because, and I think the pattern is written the way that it is because it's a simple way to do it. You don't have to fiddle with like a Kitchener stitch or grafting or anything like that. But I like the look of that more.
I actually think it's the style. Like a Selbu mitt
maybe
does
it
the
kind
same
of brings
thing.
It in a little bit more.
It's to bring it into that point.
Okay.
So I think it's part of the style of a mitt.
Oh, I see.
Because if I remember correctly, the colorwork mitts that I did either last year or the year before, it did the same thing, and it just because it brings it up to that point.
To like a point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's why it calls for it. I would assume it's some type of styling for the mitts. Okay. But yeah, you certainly could, and you just wouldn't have that triangle look to it at the top.
Right, okay.
It would just kind of go over, but it wouldn't be, it would be flat.
Yeah, it would be flat on the top. Right.
Yeah, it's...
I don't know.
I've made at least 2 pairs of those now. And
super easy.
Yeah, it goes really quick, too.
Yep. I think for the body and the cuff and everything, I did the small circular needles, the Chalgu small circular needles, and then I did a magic loop for the decreases for the fingers and for the thumb. It
could be...
super easy.
You know, if you ever wanted to try color work, even like from a Pacific Knit Co., you could do that. And the thing that, from what I remember of the mitts that I did, if you wanted the color work just here, once you get past these stitches for your hand, you knit one in alternate colors. So like, let's say you're using black and white, you would knit one white, knit one black.
So like 1x1 color work?
Yeah. To just get your yarn to come around.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it does the same thing on the thumb gusset. You would do the same thing for your thumb gusset. You do that 1x1 color work for it.
So you're not adding the color in like in a weird spot.
Yep.
I see. Cool. So that's really it. It was a very easy pattern. I'm very happy with it. And the cool thing is that you can do any weight yarn. So you can use fingering weight yarn. You can use bulky weight yarn, I'm sure. Yeah. That's
all right. That's
it.
all the FOs.
That's all the FOs.
Between going from FOs to whips, we're going to talk about socks for a minute. So we get some questions sometimes, or recently, we've got some questions about afterthought heels and the way Ray and I do our cuffs for our socks. So what I did is, on the channel on YouTube, I saved the video that Ray and I watch under tutorials. So the tutorial that we watched and we learned how to do an afterthought heel is from another YouTube channel called Kirby Werby. It's Kirby Werby's Afterthought Heel. It's a great instructional video. Mm-hmm. It shows you exactly how to pick up your stitches, how to cut the yarn, and
gives that tip to leave the 2 extra stitches unpicked when you do pick out your yarn. And that's a game changer.
It prevents the holes on either side, and it gives you some extra yarn, too, to weave in the ends and just make sure if you do have any, you can close up those gaps. Yeah. So that is there, and what we're going to try to do is, as we use techniques, or we think of things like...
that we've learned.
Like an Italian tubular bind-off. You know, the ones that we prefer are the videos that we'll save in that little saved section. Those videos may not work for you, because, you know, we have found that different videos work for us where other ones didn't. And the best one I can say is Magic Loop. For whatever reason, Very Pink Knits video did not work for me, but Andrea Mowry's did.
And Andrea Mowry's or Very Pink Knits, neither one of them worked for me. So I'll see if I can scour the internet again. But there was this random video of a woman sitting outside on her front porch talking about how to knit in Magic Loop, and then she manipulated the needles, like she pulled the needles kind of out a little bit more so that you just have the cord, and showed me. Not just me, but showed us...
the world.
Yeah, showed the world that you are still knitting in the round. And for some reason, just understanding that concept, I know we're knitting in the round technically, but it kind of feels like you're just knitting back and forth. But when she pulled it out, for some reason, it clicked in my brain. And it's like, oh, I'm knitting in the round. And it just, for some reason, I don't know what it was. Yeah. It just clicked for me.
And that's a tricky thing, is that we all have different learning styles. So you kind of have to find the thing that works for you. But we'll
do our best to link
some videos there. So, but then another question that has come up is in the discussion of when we like change yarns and how the 2 of us work our cuffs. So it's kind of a 2-parter thing for us. And I couldn't find a sock where we did the cuff and color work. That's a lie. A sock where we did the cuff and self-striping and didn't do what we do now. So, yeah, if you want to hold...
So this one up, I did.
Right. So
and there's no difference.
Right. So when we work a cuff in a self-striping yarn and we're doing ribbing...
This is my hoe, by the way.
Did you do the... once you got to like the green, okay, but you could kind of see it a little bit. This one's going to be a little harder because the colors are not so close, but so I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but here where the color changes, what we currently do is we knit around. So when it goes from yellow to green, instead of doing knit 2, purl 2, we knit around until we get back to the green, and that prevents the purl bumps from being visible. And it makes a smoother transition. If I'm not mistaken, we learned that from Maddie and Kristen over at We Share Needles. Here, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see.
I don't think so. But you sure that there's no...
No, I looked through all of your socks and all of mine. I know the one pair that has it, and I can't find them. So that's what we do to prevent the weird like purl bump when we're using color work or self-striping in our cuffs. The other thing that Ray had mentioned last week was when he is transitioning from a cuff to the leg of his sock, he knits around in the contrast color before adding in his main color. And his thought is that it's going to prevent the same thing that we talk about here, where you just get the weird purl bump. So, does that show it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. See?
There. So that's because you don't have it on this side, but you have it on that side because you started the round with the gray. Like you were still doing your ribbing here.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
But so what I wanted to show you is I don't do that. When I'm done with my cuff, I switch straight into my... Oh, this is
Not that it's a big deal.
No, this is actually... This isn't contrast colors. The white's right there. Yeah. I didn't realize. Kid, would you mind grabbing a different pair of my socks with contrast cuffs? Please?
Sure. You can see the I don't know. That it's a big deal.
No, if you flip around here, see the gray pearl bumps here?
What are we doing, Kevin? This is
I don't know.
Silly. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't, but people asked why we do it differently. I don't think what Ray does here is any different than what I do.
No, because I did not do it on this one.
And there's no
difference.
And I definitely didn't do it.
So,
like I didn't do it here, and there's no difference. It's the pearl stitch that would create a green bump here, and it would just look weird. You would have some white in between it. So sometimes it just makes it look a little strange. I did a really awful job weaving in my ends here. Look.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
So, I don't know if that made sense. Hopefully it did.
Sure.
It probably didn't. So, you're all just more confused than you started off.
Yeah.
Okay. So, whips.
Heels. Did you talk about your heel?
We talked about Kirby Werby. Afterthought, yeah.
Okay. Whips. You've already seen... I might as well just go.
Yeah, you go, because
you've already seen it. So,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So I have one finished sock here. This is Woolens and Nosh, part of her mystery sock club. It is porch knitting from July of 2024. I believe it was 24. And I finished one sock total. And this is an acquisition. This is living in a Madder Root bag that we got at the Fiber Festival. And I love this like rainbowy fabric here. And I thought it kind of matches the socks a little bit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. So I'm using, like I said,
you made a lot of progress on that.
I know, I did. Yeah, because we've been watching so much TV, and when we watch movies, if I have to pay attention, I've got to do stockinette in the round. See, I can't do anything else. I don't know what it is, or maybe I just enjoy doing stockinette in the round. This is what I have left. Here's where I am on my second sock. So I've knit the entire leg. I've marked off for my heel where I'm going to cut in my heel, and I'm just going stockinette in the round. I'm using
9-inch circulars?
9-inch circular needles.
That are 2.25 millimeter?
2.25 millimeter needles is my go-to. If you are ever interested in my sock recipe, it is on Ravelry. If you go to any of my finished socks, I do have that listed in there exactly what I like to do. For these specifically, I did the cuff just for 2-color sequences. I cast on, though, right at the transition between this peach color and this yellow color here. So you have like a little bit of a contrast on the top. And then once I got the second color stripe, I just started knitting. Once I got through the 2x2 rib, I just started knitting in the round. And then I did, it's about an 8-inch leg. I wanted to put the heel in between these two colors here. So I did my heel. I do 5 rounds of straight knitting before I start my decreases. I decrease down to 16 stitches, and then I do my my Kitchener.
16 stitches on both needles?
On both needles. On each needle.
Each needle.
Yep. And then after the heel, I did one more repeat of the lighter colors, and then when I got to about the third color sequence of the darker colors, that's when I hit. So I wear a size 12 shoe. My foot is 11 inches long. I like some negative ease in with the length as well. So before I cut in my heel, so from here, I'm going to knit this 6.5 inches before I start my toe, because my toe and my heel add about 2 inches or so to that. So I get about 10 to 10.5 inches, depending on my gauge. And yeah, that's my sock. And then for my toe, I do the same thing. I decrease down until I get to 14 stitches on each needle. And then, Kitchener. What?
Aaron's a jerk.
Why? He's texting. All right, so that's whip number 1 for me. I love these socks though; they're so cute. All right. You're up. Isn't this bag adorable though?
It is. It's a good bag.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go through my, ones that you guys have seen that I just put a little bit of work on. So the first two I'll talk about today are blankets. So this one's living in my Tanny Casey bag.
Behind the curtain.
What's up?
Nothing.
So this is just my cozy comfort throw from Homespun House. I'm just using some minis that we had in stash, so I don't know what they are. I was trying to do a bit of a fade. So right now I'm in my peach era, and this is all I've done. I did this earlier in the week. I needed something to knit, but didn't have the mental capacity to focus on anything too much. So it is holding a fingering weight, 2 fingerings together. So I'm using a dyed up mini and an undyed skein of 75-25 superwash merino. I'm knitting this on
you lost all those stitches.
a US 7, right? Yep, which is a 4.5 millimeter. Yes, 4.5 millimeter needle. I did do some different things. I did an I-cord cast on. I think it's somewhere in the range of 220 stitches. Oof. And then I picked up stitches and I'm knitting it. It's garter stitch.
It is so squishy.
And I'm doing an I-cord at the either edge. So I'm just slipping 3 stitches with the yarn in the front on both sides. And I'm just knitting. And I think I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've done 8 minis so far. And then I have this. These are the rest of the minis in here. So I'm currently working, if I'm not mistaken, these are the next 2. And then I'm going to work through some yellows. And then some orangey reds, some greens, and then some blues. So I know one of the colors in here is from Lollipop Girl Yarns, or some of the minis. The rest I have no idea.
And this was part of the her 80s.
It was a cartoon collection.
I think it was just
because this
80s.
One was She-Ra.
Yeah, it was 80s cartoons or 80s something from the 1980s.
I know some of them are Lolo Did It skeins, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. But this is going to be an ongoing long
She-Ra.
whip. I just pick it up when I don't have the energy to do anything else sometimes.
Princess of Power.
So that...
It's really great. It's super squish.
It is going to be super squishy. It's a nice thing. And if...
What bag is that in?
I said Tanny Casey. Oh. That was my very first Tanny Casey bag. So if you are in the market for undyed yarn, a really good place to get it, you can get some from Knit Picks. They carry undyed Stroll and undyed Felici, I think. I know they do have a lot of undyed yarn. You can also check out Wool to Dye For. I believe you can get it from. Dyer Supplier is
Yarn
another
Undyed,
place.
I think, is another one.
Maybe Yarn Undyed and maybe Nomad Yarn. So if you're ever in the market for that, definitely check out those sites to buy some undyed yarn. You can do that with magic knot balls if you have any, and just have a really simple blanket on the go.
Yeah, great idea. I think you have 1 million. I only have 2 left, so you can carry on.
Okay, so next up is...
Keep on dancing all through the night.
We're going to go with another blanket, living in my pear, like the fruit, a Dice Island bag. This you guys have seen a ton of. Let's get that. This is one of my favorite bags. Who doesn't love a canvas bag?
I know, it's really great.
Wax canvas bag. All right.
We have some new wax canvas to show, tip.
We do. So I made some progress on this. When I couldn't knit the other day, I took the opportunity to weave in some ends, so that was really nice. I did about 20 to 30 ends on here.
Oh, that's
There's still a bunch, but... This is my Jelly Roll Blanket by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. I'm knitting a fingering weight blanket out of scraps. I'm trying to use scraps that are below, or that are 20 grams or less, which I'm not doing right now, so that is silly. But I'll only use about 20 grams, I think. I'll just break it at some point. But here's where I was last time you guys saw it. I was here. So I finished using this yarn, which was Emma's yarn. I used it for a sweater for Riley. Now I'm using this yarn, which I think is Rusted Wagon Wheel.
That's one of my favorites from Savvy Skeins.
It's either that or it's yarn that you use from La Bien Aimée in your Stephen West shawl.
Oh, in my Stephen West, my Twisted Turns.
It's possible.
Turns.
It's possible it's La Bien Aimée. I don't think so, though. I think it's Rusted Wagon Wheel. But just to do a quick... So here we are.
It's so good. It really is so good.
I do really like this self-striping section.
Yeah, me too.
I thought...
That's Stroll, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so epic when it's done.
I know. And I'm not paying attention really to colors. Like, I'm not saying, oh, does this color look good with that one? What I am trying to do, though, is I noticed in this bag, I think a lot of the colors I had in here were, like, blues and greens. So I am trying to be mindful of that.
Well, that's pretty.
I know, this is pretty. That may go in next. So... yeah, just keep some little minis in here and just kind of grab what I want. I'm using a... Somebody told me recently, because I don't know. Who was it? Sarah told me.
It's the recommended needle in the pattern, right?
Oh, wait. Maybe it is. Let's just look.
Keep on.
It probably is.
Oh, it's all worn off.
Yeah, those are my... That's my only set of DPNs. It's my very first set of DPNs bought. Yeah. It is the Knit Picks or Knitter's Pride Dreams. Miscellaneous?
If only we had a needle gauge somewhere in this house.
I don't think I have one up here, actually.
No, they're all downstairs. So how's everybody doing while we're waiting?
I'm assuming I'm using the recommended needle.
It was like a US 3 or something, or 2.5.
2.75.
Okay. Millimeter. Or a US
2.75 millimeter needle. So yeah, and I am following Kay Litton's, the Crazy Sock Lady, her suggestion for picking up here. Mm-hmm. Basically what it is you knit to the end of the row. into your last stitch. You pick up from behind, slip it onto your left needle, and then knit those two together. So I think it's slightly different than Kay Jones's version. And
I do mine slightly different, but I can't remember how I did it. I have to bring my blanket back out.
Yeah, it's a really nice knit.
Yeah.
It's very...
it's beautiful.
It's relaxing. You don't have a lot of stitches on your needle, so you can make a lot of progress pretty quickly on it. Let's move my progress keeper. So this one...
Those are me. That's mine.
Is it?
Nope. No, it's not.
Isn't it me?
No, it's neither one of us.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that I've also made a little bit of progress on.
Skylar's having the time of his life downstairs.
He really is. Okay.
I bought Skylar a new perch, but it's a little bit too wide. He's not a fan, so we had to switch it back. Just in case you were wondering.
Oh, speaking of stuff, let's talk about what I'm wearing.
Okay, great.
I'm wearing Twists and Turns, right?
Yes.
Yeah. By Stephen West. This is all knit in RayJKnits. I know this red is Japanese maple.
It's really pretty.
I don't remember the name of the gold or the... This is pumpkin... It may be pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin latte?
I don't know, but I'm using it now. That's why I grabbed this. Because I when I was knitting with my next whip, which I'll show, I was like, I think it's from here. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed this to wear, and it is.
I have a hard time wearing mine. I don't really understand how to wear it.
Yeah,
you know,
I can see that. It's really long. Like, it's very wide. It's wide, not...
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just what I've done.
No, and it looks good. I just, I feel like when I'm putting it on, like, there's so much...
Extra.
Yeah, and there's so much to the shawl that you want to show off, like, what you did, but it just... I don't know. I feel like it kind of all just smooshes together.
So that will lead me to my next whip. And then you could go, maybe?
Yeah, after your next one?
Sure.
Or now? What do you want to do?
After this one. Okay. So this is a new cast on. I cast it on last night because I needed something. I was actually in the mood to knit and I needed something just a little bit easy that I could cast on and go with. So I went with a trusted hat pattern.
Oldie but goodie.
This is the Salish hat Salish cap by Mary Pernica for Blue Sky Fibers. I made a bunch of these last year. Actually, here we go. All right. So the Salish cap. This is using 2 fingering weight yarns held together. It is knit on a US 8 or a 5mm needle. And it is basically just a really simple 2x2 hat. So I had picked up some yarn and I'm using the same skein. I'm holding the 2 ends together, so I'm pulling from the outside and the inside.
Love how squishy this is.
And this is what I have so far. This
you
is
made a ton of progress, Kevin.
Barnyard Knits. I just don't recall the name. I don't know.
I think it's like a pumpkin latte.
Yeah, it may be pumpkin latte or like white pumpkin. It's something like that. I know pumpkin's in the name. So I think I'm almost to my decreases. But it's really just going, it's going round and round. 2x2 rib. No fancy brim. I did a German twisted cast on for it. And yeah. So I'll finish this today.
It's great.
It's a really great gift knit because it is ribbing. Yeah. You don't have to worry about size. It's one size. You get a pretty good length brim on it, or you can wear it slouchy. And I think if I remember correctly, when I used 2 separate colors, I used somewhere between 35 and 40 grams of each color.
I thought it was somewhere around 35. You're absolutely right.
So for those little bits that you have,
Yeah.
it's a great use leftovers and get some stuff out of stash projects. So that is that.
Perfect.
Not much to that one.
No, but you made a lot of progress. That was a really quick.
Yeah,
It works up really quickly.
I definitely wanted to knit. Yesterday it really was the first time I had the urge to in a couple of days. So, but I didn't want to focus on anything specifically. I didn't want to. Everything was just kind of at the point where I have to pay attention, and I didn't want to pay attention. So it's a really good hat to not pay attention with.
Yeah.
All right, you can go.
Okay. I want to show. I didn't make much progress on this one, but I will definitely show it. This is living in a Portland Leather Co. bag.
And they don't make those anymore.
They don't make these anymore, but this is a really nice canvas bag as well. I love these style bags with the pockets on the outside as well, because this, like, I'm ready to go.
Look at her go.
Look at me.
She's
go.
on the move.
I feel like I want to sing the Mary Tyler Moore song for some reason. I don't know why. She's not on the move. She doesn't go anywhere, really. She's going to make it, though. Get it?
Yeah.
Anywho, okay, so this is the Ringing Rocks shawl. Let me pull that up for you.
That is so many notifications that would stress me out.
What notifications?
On your thing, you had 611.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Where?
I don't know. Just continue.
I address my notifications. Okay, hold please. This is the Ringing Rocks shawl by Violet Loops. It's a gorgeous Tunisian crochet, and I want to thank everybody who replied to my comments last time about, with my Tunisian crochet hook, how I was starting to get some cramping and I was having trouble with all of the different, once I had all of the loops on the hook, and as it got larger. So many of you, including the designer of the pattern, reached out and said, have I tried the rotating one? Swivel cords. And once I switched over to a swivel cord, complete game changer. So it is very comfortable to work on.
And you're using the swivel cords that came with your Chagu Forte set.
I am, because my Tunisian crochet hook set is Chagu. I also have the Chagu Forte set, which comes with swivel cords as well, and so it all fits. The connectors all fit together, so I was able to switch them out, and it was like perfect. So here's what I have so far. Can you just hold that for me?
Yep.
So I was here last time we chatted. So I got, I don't know, maybe 6 inches, 7 inches done. I was able to complete the fade, and now I'm using the third color by itself. So I don't... I'll pull up my Ravelry in a second. So this is a lattice stitch. Tunisian crochet lattice stitch, and I'm fading in the... Oh, I thought something was a little off there, but it's not. I'm fading in the colors. I'm doing the 3-color version of this shawl. The really great thing about this pattern is that there's, and like I said before, there's a ton of tutorials. They're video tutorials. There's also 3 different options. You can do a 1-color, you could do a 2-color, or a 3-color fade. So I've opted for the 3-color fade. I'm doing... color number 1, which is this one, is called Ray, and that is from Moonlight Fiber Studio. I'll have to take a look. This one is, let me just pull it up because I have medicine brain now. I'm so sorry. Let me pull up my Ravelry page. Do you guys use Rabbit? Rabbit's cool. App. Okay, so... Yes, so I'm sorry. So, Ray, by the Moonlight Studio. Oh no, what happened? This one is Fangirl Fibers, Let the Wookiee Win. And then this last one is Fiber Optics yarn in the colorway Sedona. So I'm fading those 3 in that order. Color 1, color 2, and then color 3. I am almost done with my increases, so I'm almost at the halfway mark here of the shawl. And then I'm going to start my decreases and then fade back out again. So this is kind of where we are at so far. And then I'm just going to build this section out next, and it's going to be a very large, squishy, awesome shawl to like snuggle up with.
Do you often snuggle with your shawls?
Well, I mean, like in public, yeah. What else can I say? I am using the recommended hook size. It is an H8 5mm hook. I think I'm using like a 30-inch cord. I could probably get away with a smaller cord if I wanted to. But yeah. I am just honestly though, it was such a game changer. I just wanted to show you the texture. I really love the texture and the colors together. I think it's really cool. It really was a game changer to put them on swivel cords. So if you struggle like I did, absolutely use swivel cords. The cool thing also about this pattern is that she has row counts of when you want to switch your yarn, but also you can do it by weighing your yarn, and it's completely adjustable. So if you're overweight or underweight, you can add or decrease additional rows until you have at least, what you need. And then she tells you in the pattern where to mark your transitions so that when you're doing your decreases on the other side, you can match the row count up. So you don't have to worry about weighing your yarn anymore. Just make sure that it's a symmetrical shawl.
Nice.
Yeah. It was very well done. She's got a ton of different patterns, which I'm going to look at after this. I'm thoroughly enjoying the Tunisian crochet. I just can't do it without... I have to look at it. And it didn't get a lot of love over the past couple of weeks because we've been kind of paying attention to shows and things. So I've been having to do something very simple. Anyway, that's that. Really, really love it. I think I'm a Tunisian crocheter. I have one more to show.
So I'll do this one next. So this is living in my Attenti bag. I made a little progress on this project. I ripped it out, then made a little more, and I'm going to rip some more out. So that's a real fun time. I don't know what my issue is with this right now, but this is my Sandport sweater. Bless you.
Thank you.
So this is the Sandport sweater by Isolde Teague. The reason I'm knitting this is I had watched her video on the sweater, and it talked about the construction of it, and it was different. It's a drop shoulder with some raglan increases at the underarm. So I just wanted to try the construction, really. But this is two different versions of it. I'm going for more of this version, although mine will be longer than that as well. I'm knitting the 6 size. The sweater, I'm also using smaller needles. I'm using a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and I used a US 2.5 for my ribbing, which was a 3 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. The yarns I'm using are Patagonia. Where are my labels? They should be like right here.
The yarn is really nice. It's very like farmy.
So I'm using the Patagonia Organic Merino, which is 100% wool. It's 3.5 ounces, or actually 3.52 ounces to be exact. 100 grams for 382 yards. And I'm using the colors Mahogany and Pearl.
So, Pearl's the name of our Roomba. Did we talk about this?
I don't think so.
PURL.
So here's where I am. I was like here last time, just here. So I did get a little bit more done.
Yeah, you did.
But I have to rip back. I forget where I did my increases, to be honest with you. And I kind of need to know how many I did. But this is my beginning of round. So here's a question for you guys. Would you carry this color up the side? This is 8 rows in between, or do you think I should cut it and add it every time? So that's one thing I'm struggling with now.
I think you should carry.
I did carry it up
because it's going to be on the inside.
And then what's really cool about this, although there is some like laddering here and very loose, the jogless, to make a jogless stripe is I've never seen this technique before. What the pattern recommends doing is, so if I'm knitting the brown, I get to the end of the round and I need to add in this white. Once I get to the end of the round, I knit the first stitch with the brown, slip it back to my left needle, then I yarn over with the white and continue knitting around, and then when I get back to it, I knit the two together. And I mean, I've done it. I did it here, and you can't see. There's no jog. This is an increase, so don't look at that. But here, there is no jog there. It's really interesting. And then after I did that, I was on Insta, and I saw Romy Designs. That's what she recommends too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is the back of the sweater here. It is, you start knitting flat, and then you knit the back flat, then you pick up stitches and you knit the left front and the right front, then you join it all together, and now I'm at the point where I'm building out the raglan for the underarm of it. So I'm probably somewhere right around here on the sweater, but I read the pattern wrong and I was doing too many increases for the raglan, and now I have to rip it back. But what was really cool is when I did rip back and feeling this yarn, after ripping back, it like, feel this, that's quite soft to me. Like, it softened up just here compared to this, right? Or am I crazy?
Yes.
I'm crazy?
No, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it would make sense. Like, maybe it's felted a little bit. So
I don't know. I thought it felt
a different
softer.
texture.
I've heard very good things about it. It's a popular yarn at Spain.
It feels great.
Yeah.
Like, it really does.
But yeah, I just have to tink back. I don't know how many rows in. I was like ready to add another white stripe and then realized I had to tink back. Oh, because of my increases. I did my increases wrong, and I could see like one of them just bothered me, and I dropped down to try to fix it, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it. So I had to tink all the way back to this white. So I've only knit 3 more rows, and now I have to tink back again, I think. Who knows? Literally have no idea. So as you can see, that's why I picked up the Salish cap instead of working on this.
It's going to be really nice when it's done. So you just got to get on into a groove.
Why does that not make sense? Okay. Yeah, so I'm knitting this, again, the size 6. It is to get a...
There's a lot of information in this pattern, huh?
It is, and I wanted a lot of positive ease. I want it to be very sweatshirty.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see... I was trying to figure out what the finished chest circumference is.
It's right there. Finished garment. One more. Over. See? Finished garment measurements. Centimeters. There it is.
Inches. Oh, it's going to give me like a 50-inch. But my gauge is tighter too. So I'm assuming it's going to go be a little bit more like 48-inch chest.
I feel like this episode really showcases how much we don't know about what we do.
No, I think it shows how
Real we are?
foggy we are today.
Foggy? Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah, we're not. We are definitely nowhere near being 100%.
No, I'm crashing a little bit.
And my back is starting to...
We're old, too.
We're old. We both... In addition to being sick, we both pulled up, like, muscles in our back on different days. Mine was not this past Friday, the Friday before. And it's still bothering me.
Yeah. Good times. Heating pad is out.
It's out.
All right,
you're up next.
I'm up. Okay. Next up, what I have to show for you is really what I've been working on the most, I think, is my Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Made Designs. It is, let me pull up the pattern. It is a $12 pattern. And it's just a very simple raglan sweater. Kevin made 2 of these, and they look beautiful. And I got this yarn from Red Stag Fiber, part of his Manor collection, at Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle. And this is the Yorkshire DK base in the colorway Brick Tavern. It is 75% Polworth and 2% Masham. 25% Masham. Thank you. See? This is... I have one more skein left of this yarn. And here's what I have so far. I think I've made quite a bit of progress.
You have.
So there's where I was. So I've finished the body. I did the hem, the ribbing. I did a tubular bind off here, 1x1 tubular bind off. I picked up one of the sleeves, and I've completed that sleeve, which looks super long, doesn't it? Look like extra long.
No.
And so all I have left to do is just pick up the second sleeve and do that. It did not take me long at all. I absolutely love the variation in the yarn.
Yeah, I like the
striping and the tonality.
Yeah.
I think it looks really, really cool. So yeah, I'm really excited about this sweater. It's going to be a very nice, classic, cozy,
classic raglan
sweater in my collection.
It's you know what's really funny is that I love seeing tonality in yarn.
Me too.
It freaks me out when I dye yarn and it has tonality in it.
I don't know why, because it's really nice.
It's so weird. I don't know what my issue is.
I have done everything to pattern with the exception of 2 things. The first thing is my raglan increases. The pattern just has you knitting front back to make your stitches, and you're doing those back to back. I put a stitch. I put 2 stitches in between my makes, and I did a make one right and then a make one left. When I was it's the other way around. When I was going, so I made one right, knit one, slip my marker, knit one, make one left, and that's what I did for my raglans. I did my raglan increases, though, at the same cadence as the pattern calls for. The sleeve decreases, I did exactly what the pattern says, so it's like knit 2 together in SSKs. So there's 3 things that I did differently. The other thing that I did is that you're supposed to do your decreases. The pattern calls for you for my size, which is a size 5. Let me go back. Size L.
Large.
Yeah, thank you. I know what L stands for. But I'm trying to see what I don't know. I'm knitting the large size, which is the 4th size for a finished garment measurement of 46 inches. So I'll have about 4 or so, depending on the day, inches of positive ease on this. So I did 13 decreases instead of the 17 that my size calls for, because when I put it on, I felt like it was still just going to be like, it was at a good length to carry on over my forearms, down to my wrist.
I will say, knitting mine, I think I followed it exactly, and
they happen really quickly.
They happen very quickly, but the fabric was very close to skin.
Yeah.
It wasn't super loose, my sleeves, so I think that's a good call.
Me too. And then the last thing that I changed, and this is purely because I was being lazy, and I wanted to stay in the round, because I knit my sleeves on small circumference needles with the Chow set. The mini Chow the blue ones. Do I have them?
Excuse me. Oh, I have water.
These guys. We do have the red set as well, for the smaller circumference, but I've been knitting the sleeves on these, and they only go down to a US 4, and the ribbing calls for a US 3. So I just did mine in a US 4.
We don't have a US 3 size?
We do in the small little red ones.
Oh, that's right. So you would have to change the cable.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do that.
No, that's... Hey.
It was too much. So I just, I did, and who cares, really?
Yeah.
Like, it's ribbing. I did the tubular bind off here as well for the sleeves. I will do the exact same thing for this one, and I'll be done pretty quickly. And then that's it. The sweater is then finished.
Very nice. You could definitely finish that this week.
I think so too. So my goal is to really have this completed for when we go to Nash Fest.
Yes.
And that's March 15th, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that. 17th, something.
Yep, which we're really, really excited
15th,
about. There's
15th.
some amazing vendors and some really cool people that are going to be there. So I'm hoping to have this done, and I would really like to have the shawl done too. I think that would be kind of cool. So, yeah, that's where I am. The yarn is outstanding. I can't wait. Feel it. I can't wait for it to be... It's so soft.
It's outstanding.
It's outstanding. And it's very, like...
Springy
and squishy. So I couldn't be happier with this. Like I said, I have one more skein left. I think I had 6 skeins total. I think. So... Yeah, I don't think I saved all of my bands. And that's that.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I'm happy. I think I told you everything about there. The needle sizes, I used the recommended needle size. For the cast on for this, you do a tubular cast on using US 2s, so really small needles. I did my ribbing there for the neck on a US 3. And then I did the rest of the sweater in US 7, which is what the pattern calls for. Again, all the information, if you're interested in anything that I missed, is on my Ravelry page. So that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited. That'll be my first sweater of 2025.
All right.
I just got to kick that up. Remind me to kick that up today.
Yeah.
Otherwise
I need to cake up my ones and notch tonight too.
Go.
All right, so my last 2 whips are spinning related, which is odd to say. I'm surprised. It's actually going to look like I have 3 as we talk about this, but here's what we're going to do. So my first one is I started spinning the yarn for Ray's Traveler Cowl from Andrea Mowry.
Yay.
This is, I'm going to do a 3-ply for him. And this is the start of it.
It's pretty.
So it is a very just green skein for the most part, or braid. So I brought up, this is, I'm spinning it end to end. So this is the half I'm currently working on here. So you could see you have a lot of light, bright greens, some dark greens. There's some blue and a little bit of orange and like white spots in here. This is from Cesium yarn, and it may be something like Stop Your Bugging Me.
That's a cute name.
Or it's definitely bug related. So what I did is I just split the braid literally in half. So it's one long thing of fiber. I just ripped it kind of in half. I'm spinning from
And how good of a job did you do splitting it in half?
No, that's not this one.
Oh.
This, I mean, like, lengthwise.
Gotcha.
I found the halfway mark between the full length of the braid.
Oh, that's when the...
And I just pulled it apart right in the middle. Mm-hmm. And then I'm spinning it literally from end to end. So this is what I have left of the first half. And then this is the second half. So I'll pick up right here. This is where it was ripped. And then just spin all the way down. So I'm trying to spin fairly thin for this because it's going to be a 3-ply. And my goal is to get a DK weight yarn. So here's kind of the thickness of it. I put it somewhere that's not here. But yeah, so that's what I have so far. But because I know this is going to take me some time to do, because thinning spin just takes longer than spinning like a thicker.
Did you say thinning spin?
Spinning thin.
I think you said thinning spin.
Well, I would love
and
to.
Regardless.
So, yes. So I decided I needed something that would be a little bit easier to spin too, for myself. So I pulled out one of my Fiber of the Month clubs from Into the World. Man, I did a really crappy job because I didn't bring either of the tags. This was the November color, though.
We forgive you.
So I split this braid in half down the middle, like this. So I pulled it this way instead of this way. And I was very impressed because it was within 1 gram of each other. So that was really good. One was, I weighed it and the total was 121 grams. And one was 60 grams and the other was 61 grams. So really evenly split. I'm spinning this a little bit thicker. And this one, let's go back for a moment. This is 100% Shaniko wool top.
Shaniko top, yeah.
This is a 70-30, if I'm not mistaken, of Shetland and Tullah. I think that's how you say it, silk. So you can see here.
Oh, yeah.
This is the silk in it. And
yeah, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you see the difference? You can up close. Sorry, I'm just giving a little bit more screen time.
So this is what I have so far. So this has a lot of orange and purple blue in here. You got some green.
I love that orange in the middle there.
Yeah, I love the pop of orange.
Yeah, it's good.
So I'm going to shoot for a DK weight or somewhere around an 11 to 14 wraps per inch once it's plied together. So this the half I'm spinning now, once I split the braid in half this way, I then took that one half and I split it into two, and then I'm spinning it from one end to the other. I think I'm on the second half of it now. So I've already spun the first one. Mm-hmm. Now I'm spinning the second one. This I'm going to split somewhere between 4 and 8 strips. Oh. And then spin those end to end. And that is what's called a fractal spin. And I'm going to have one strand of yarn with longer repeats of the color. And then the second strand is going to be very short repeats because it's going to be an eighth, so like an eighth of this purple, an eighth of this, an eighth of that, so on and so forth. So it'll happen much quicker. And yeah, that's what I'm spinning.
It's great.
And while we're on the topic of spinning, it's really cool because I do get some feedback where people are like, oh, they're inspired to knit, which is awesome. Inspired to spin or pull out their spinning. And that's really exciting because that's what other podcasts had done for me. So our friend Michael from Piece for Piece and Kirsty from Wool and Wishes podcast, they show their spinning quite a bit. And the more that they were showing it, the more it made me want to pick up spinning again and really get into it because I just loved what they were doing. So those two fostered my spinning journey. So now it's great that I am inspiring some of you to pull out some of your spinning, because it's a different meditative, relaxing thing.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I do get is why I chose the wheel that I currently use over other wheels. So my current wheel that I'm using is the Daedalus Starling. Here she is. This is Trixie. This is in the color Hunter Green.
Turn it the other way so you can see the Starling.
Starling.
Yeah.
This is Hunter Green.
Yeah.
So it is, you can spin with a Scotch tension and Irish tension. I don't know what that means, but you can. And all right. The wheel that I started with for an e-wheel is this one. This is the Dreaming Robots Electric Eel Wheel 6.0. There is a newer version. They have the 6.1 out now. So first we're just going to look at the difference in size of these. So the size is quite different, as you can tell. The Daedalus one is much larger, and
it's wider. I don't know if it's...
No, I mean, wider, lengthwise.
Yeah.
It's much larger.
Yeah.
And I think, too, I was trying to compare the bobbins, if the bobbins were...
they look the same.
The same size, and they may be.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the differences of these. And the first one, which is something I love, and it's not that big of a deal, but you see this little guy here? This allows me, when I'm stop spinning, I can wrap my fiber around it and hold it in place like this. Right? So I have a place to hold it when I'm done for the day. I can't do it without looking like this. I know it seems trivial, and it's not that big of a deal.
That's got to have something similar.
This one here does not. So I've been wrapping it on these hooks.
It doesn't?
No. At least this version doesn't. Like, you can't put it here. This is your motor.
Oh, yeah.
So there was just, again, pretty trivial, but it was something that I was like, oh, what do I do? This one, your speed control is here. And you have, it goes 1 to 6. And here's your Z twist and your S twist. So Z is, I think Z is clockwise and S is counter, if I remember correctly. I could be getting those mixed up. And then this is your tensioning dial. This wheel came with, this actually probably won't work, so I have to take this off. But it came with a cotton string as your tensioning string. And within like a 2-month period of time, I probably replaced it 2 to 3 times because it would wear through and it affects your tension. It affects the uptake of the wheel. So it wasn't feeding the fiber through and putting it on the bobbin the same way. So this one here, this is a Kevlar string, and when I can feel the tension changing or slowing down, you just have to pop it off and wipe it off. You can see there's a
like dust or something.
You can see here the discoloration there. It's just a buildup because the tensioning thing here is metal, whereas on the electric eel wheel it is plastic. These are both 3D printed wheels. So I find that with the Daedalus, it's easier for me to get a tension that works for me. And this is the speed control for it, as well as the foot pedal. It is an extra purchase, but I get a more accurate speed that's comfortable for me. Like I couldn't find a speed on the electric eel wheel that was comfortable for me with my spinning. This one is down to like the percentage. Like I could go from 30 to 31, 32, so on and so forth until I get to a very comfortable speed for me. So I like that. I feel like with the Starling, the Daedalus Starling, I have a little more control than I did with the electric eel wheel. I can find my tension and my speed a little bit quicker than I could with that. I think both are fantastic wheels. Oh, another thing I like about this one, the Starling, is that I don't have to take off the flyer in order to change my bobbin. The flyer just rotates. Let's do that. So in order to change my bobbin, can you hold the bottom of this for me, please? Thank you. I just lift, take this little washer off, and twist. And I can take my bobbin off, put a new bobbin on, put that back, and twist back into place. With this one, I had to take off the tension band, take off this piece from the motor, take this off too, and then take off the bobbin. Because this doesn't swivel like the Daedalus one does. So there was that is a difference. And yeah, if I had done more research to begin with, I probably would have went with the Daedalus. I think the Martin is a step down from this, and it's more comparable in price to the electric eel wheel. But if you're in the market for either, I don't think you can go wrong. I think the electric eel wheel is a good beginner wheel, and it depends on how much spinning you intend to do. I think this may be a better long-term wheel. And I could be wrong with saying this, but I feel like Daedalus does testing on all of their wheels before shipping them. Like once they're done, I don't know, I could be wrong. It's just, and I heard nothing but good things from Daedalus wheel owners. So hopefully that information's helpful. I do think both are great wheels. I don't think you can go wrong. I think whatever works for you and works for your budget, just kind of like yarn. It's whatever's within your budget. But I am super pleased with the Starling, and who knows, maybe there might be a
don't say it
magpie in my future.
Unless Daedalus sends you one.
No.
Daedalus. Are you paying attention?
No. So, and the only reason I've thought about a magpie is for spinning larger bobbins. The bobbin capacity on the magpie is much larger. Especially with like your 3-ply that I'm going to do. That's probably going to end up having to be 3 separate skeins, which is no big deal. But it would be nice to be able to spin it onto one bobbin and not have to worry about that. So, and in the spinning realm too, I got asked recently, I'm going to see if I can find it, for some references for like YouTube channels maybe to watch. So these are the one that I've watched. Oh boy. Hold on. What the hell's the name of the channel? Is it JK?
You're seeing it real.
You're seeing the thought process. Oh man, I just sent an email to somebody with a list of channels that I've watched. I'm just going to have to go through all my recent.
Who's coming to Skane with us? Cool, man.
Shut up. Oh, I need to get something from downstairs.
Okay. we gotta focus now because we've completely.
I know I'm losing
derailed.
it too.
Okay. Let's land the plane.
Crud. I don't know now.
Okay, no problem. Maybe if you think about it by the time we're doing our show notes, you can add them in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. So what's next? Break in the bank. Do we have any break in the bank?
No, Owl Post.
Owl Post. I have an Owl Post.
You do.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go. While we were at the Fiber Festival, New England Farm and Fiber, we went to a booth called the Felted Bee. Super adorable needle felting kits. Now, we made a purchase, but we're not going to show that purchase because it was purchased as a gift. And we want to send that person this gift. And if we show it, that person will know that it's for them. And they do watch the pod. So the reason why I'm saying this is while we were there, they had this most adorable felted witch. And I had asked if there was any on the website. They said there were. So I had intentions of purchasing this. But before I had a chance to do that, they ended up sending us a beautiful kit. So Jen from the Felted Bee, this is them. We'll have them linked down below. How cute. This is a cute witch needle felting kit. I thought this was absolutely adorable. So Jen from the Felted Bee sent this over, plus additional hair colors, and I am just beyond. So I can't thank you enough for sending this our way. I can't wait to break into this kit. In each kit, you get a reusable foam felting pad. The felting needles, you get 3 of those, and then as well as everything else that you're going to need. So for this one specifically, we're batting to make a couple of 3-inch witches, so it's not just one. I didn't know that. Actually, probably should have read this. Wooden sticks for the broom handles, and then a pre-recorded online tutorial specific to this kit, which is really, really exciting. So I'm super chuffed about this. The Felted Bee, check them out. Jennifer McCarthy, she's the artist. Chuffed. I am chuffed. They are on Instagram and Facebook, and they have the website as well.
All right.
So cool. Thank you very much for that. We will not show the
gift.
We have to actually get that out into the mail.
But I did find...
great. I
found the channel.
I'm so excited. We were holding our breath, Kev.
I know. Okay. So there were 5 channels that I recommended to this person. So one of them is Jillian Eve. One of them is Tiny...
You're going to have this link down below.
Fiber Studio. Yeah, we'll link these 5 channels. The other is The Spinning Sarah. Then one is JK Fiber Arts. And the last one is Fiber Love Diary. Oh. And I watch them all for different reasons. Some of them have instructional videos. A lot of the times, it may just be them spinning. Mm-hmm. And it's for me to watch their hand movement and how they draft. Because they do, talk about it. So that's kind of why I watch, to see maybe how they prepare their fiber, watch their hand movement, the difference between their drawing. I do a short forward draw most of the time. If my twist is getting out of hand, I'll do a short backward draw to try to draft a little bit more and get it under control. But yeah, those are the 5 channels that I've watched. So if there are any other channels that you recommend, feel free to drop them below. And also patterns that you know of that handspun would be good for. And maybe on my personal Ravelry page, I'll start creating a bundle of those, because it is very hard to find, I think, patterns that are designed specifically for hand-spun yarns. And I think that's why a lot of people default to going to Andrea Mowry's patterns, because she does use a lot of spin cycle or hand-spun lately and creates patterns specifically for those, or that the handspun would look good in. So I would love to know if some other ones. Yeah.
Great.
All right. Now we have Owl Post. No, we did that.
We just did Owl Post. Thanks so much. Remember the Felted Bee, Jen? She was great.
Yeah, we have Breaking the Bank, and I have one
Breaking the Bank.
downstairs.
Really?
Yeah. On the table in that black sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get it. Do you want to start then?
I'll start with my Breaking the Bank.
All right.
This is everything I purchased from New England Farm and Fiber Festival, which actually wasn't bad, to be honest. So the first thing is this Tanny Casey bag. This is a new design of hers. These are tall buckets, wax canvas, which I can't wait to see like the patina on this. And inside, let me pull out my stuff. And I also thought it was super reasonably priced. And inside you have 1, 2, 3. I'll see if I can fold it down so that you guys can see. So a nice neutral interior. And then on this side, you have 3 pockets. Very large pockets as well. So that was my first one. And then this has a nice like green, army green handle on it. So I thought it was a nice complementary color. And then from the merch there, we got the hat, which what sold me on the hat was that it says Yarny on the back. So I thought that was super cute. And then we each got a sticker for our knitting books that says Boston. Adorbs. Thank you.
Welcome.
And in addition to that...
Did you show the hats?
I did. And then I showed the Yarny on the back.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Did you have to adjust yours? I haven't put mine on.
I did. I just had to make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I need to make mine bigger.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, we stopped by and we've purchased a couple...
I forgot all about this.
Needle cases from her. So this is Crimpin' Works, and we
freezing downstairs.
do love her needle cases, and we wanted one specifically for our fixed circulars.
Yes.
So she uses number 1 great fabrics and great buttons. So this is a roll top one. It's quite large, and on this part of the fabric, we got some Sharpies in metallic or in a white, where we're gonna write like US 8 5mm. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 slots to put in your needles. And again, she has them for interchangeables.
Yeah, crochet hooks.
She's
to over
hang on
the
door.
Wall. Yeah.
And we get to see her at all of the events. So we do have some. I think you have one for crochet hooks. We have one for
our DPNs that we use.
Yes, one for our DPNs. You have the crochet hook, and now we have this one for our fixed circulars.
And the cool thing is, like, she really is very intentional and puts together like the fabric and the buttons, all different types of buttons.
And she did say on this, she has changed the length of the flap because people had said that the flap wasn't long enough. So this goes all the way down and completely covers your needles. So there would be no issue, I don't think, with them falling out of the case. Yeah. Just really, really well made. She makes like travel ones.
Yeah, those are really cute too.
And then the only other thing I purchased was a kit from... This is what was at the Wing and a Prayer farm, and Gudrun Johnson was there. And this is a brand new pattern. We had seen it on her podcast. And these are new mitts, and it came in this snapback by Della Q with Simply Shetland little logo on it. And this is for the Harris Mon mittens. So...
She was so lovely to chat with.
Yeah, it was very nice to see her again. So this uses 6 balls of Jameson DK. It came with all 6. And it is for a hand circumference of 9 inches or 23 centimeters. So you get the pattern with the kit. And these are the colors it comes with. So
I didn't notice the front of that.
Yeah.
How cute.
So the main color is, I want to say it's called Morit. It's color 108. Then you have, it also came with Moget, Musket, or Mosket maybe, Shayla, and Shetland Black.
Ooh.
And these are all 25-gram balls. And they are approximately 75 meters in length.
Very cute. Oh, they smell shippy.
And that's all I bought there. Not bad.
No, we both did very well. So while we were at the,
I don't know where mine are.
oh no, when we were at the Boston Fiber Co. I don't think I have yours in mine. No, I don't.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I found them.
Oh, okay. We each got, so I'm a Leo, and we got these cute little stitch markers. This one's Leo. It's by dyemadyarns.com. And these were on sale, like half off.
Yeah, and I'm a Gemini, so I got the Gemini set.
Surprise, surprise.
You know what?
No, I'm just saying, surprise, surprise. That's your second personality that just came out to it. Point. There's my point. I showed you, I did go a little bit wild. Not wild. I got 3 bags total while we were there. I showed you the Matterroot bag here, which I absolutely love so much. I got a second Matterroot bag that's larger. Really cool, like wool fabric. The inside are yarn balls, and it's got pockets in there as well. I don't know if I can show you, but it's one of those roll top bags that you can roll up and clip together, and they stay closed. I like these because I can clip them to like my backpack or something as I'm going on, or I can clip it to my waist and like knit out of them. So I got those 2 Matterroot bags. I also got a Tanny Casey bag. I'm sure Kevin showed his already. I got one in red. These are huge bucket bags. They're on her website. Tall oval bag, I think it's called. They're
Oval tote.
Oval tote. They're very affordable. I think they're like $60 on her website. They have pockets on the inside, and it's my favorite style bag because it can sit right next to me on the couch, and it's huge. So
it's ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move my blanket into it. Actually,
I might actually I can always take this to yarn festivals too. You know, you can fit a lot in there.
Yeah.
I love the straps. There, it's a waxed canvas. Not that you're going to be able to see. Oh, you can see a little bit. So you can see some of the patinaing. Is that a word?
Yes. That's what I said too while you were downstairs.
Oh, look at that. So yeah, really simple tote. We saw them.
And it was brand new style. She had just released them for that show, so it was really great to see some. And then
what I like to do also especially when I'm traveling, is I bring a lot of knitting projects with me. Because I always afraid that I'm gonna like mess up or I don't know, get bored. So I like these kind of bags because I could put other knitting bags in there, along with my needles and accoutrement. And then the last thing that I got is a kit as well. It's the same, Simply Shetland.
Yes,
I didn't notice that the Delicute bag had that in there, which was really cute. So this is...
What?
Imagine if I didn't have the pattern. This is for the Cloud Drift cowl, which I don't have a picture of. Let me see if I can pull it up.
They had a really nice sample there, and we had seen it. Mari had made one.
Yeah.
She did a 2-color one, if we're not mistaken.
All right. Cloud Drift by Gudrun Johnston. Beautiful. And I like, this is going to be my first time doing this style cowl. Bandana-like. I was really impressed with your shift cowl.
My Traveler.
Your Traveler cowl. So it's an $8 pattern. I got it free with the kit. And so you need 2 balls of Jameson Spindrift, which I got, they came with it. These are the colors that I chose this kit color. The color is 105 ESIT. EESIT. 2 balls of those. 2 mini skeins of 100% Shetland wool, 30 grams a piece. I have no idea what the colors of these are. It doesn't say on it.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, but they're...
And these are from...
Wing and a Prayer Farm.
Wing and a Prayer Farm.
Yep. And then I'm a little bit interesting about this, but we'll see. And this is Tosh Silk Cloud. So it's kid mohair and silk.
But if you don't want to use the mohair, I have Surrey that you could use.
Yeah. I might give it a try. I've never knit with mohair before. And this is the colorway Ivory. So I think that this is going to be a really nice color combination.
Yeah.
To do that drift, or that, the cloud drift. I wonder if there's... I don't see the color combination, but I don't know. I just think this is stunning.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. It was very pretty in person.
It was very pretty in person. So that's the kit that I got. Okay. So now I have 2 kits that I need to do. Me and Michael need to still start our hats.
I know, I have fingerless mitts.
But I'm not ready for those yet, Michael, okay?
Okay. All right, and then I have one last purchase.
That's it. You do?
Yeah. It wasn't from there. This is a separate purchase that I made. So this is a spinning purchase. I decided to purchase a new Lazy Kate. So for those of you who aren't spinners...
I have one more purchase too.
The Lazy Kate is what you put your bobbins on once you have your fiber on it so that you can ply them together. And I bought one from Acreworks that fits down into this thing. So this is my new Lazy Kate. So it folds down into this piece of wood. And you just snap these little guys up. Pop open these bars. And you have 4 little places to put your bobbins. And then it also comes in here. Once you do that, you have these 4 pieces. These are your tensioning thingamajiggers. Just slide it on. Slide on. You close it. And push it really down to tension your bobbins. So the reason I got this was that, number one, it folds down and stores really, really easily. The other one that I do have is very nice. It is a shocked one, I think. But in order to store it, you do have to break it down and keep the, not that it's a big deal, but you do break it down, and I'm missing 2 pieces from it, so I was going to have to order a couple pieces.
It didn't come?
No, it was missing them.
Did you send them a...
No, because this was like 2 years ago that you got it for me.
Oh, not this one.
Not this one.
Right,
No, the other one.
The other one, sorry.
So I just wanted something that was
Yes.
easier to store.
Yeah.
And
we love Acreworks.
yeah, we have their knitting kit,
Yeah.
like toolkit.
Yeah, it's
with
the best.
gauge and stuff. So yeah, so this was, and it came in 3 colors. I think I chose maple.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And then I just get to put it in here and I'm good to go.
Nice.
Done.
My last purchase is not knitting related at all. Kind of. In a weird way. I decided to take the plunge. Almost wish that I had waited. And I got myself a pair of colorblind glasses. These are by Lumiglass. So right now there's we're not sponsored, but they're 70% off. So this pair here is like $49. What it really is, so you guys know I am colorblind, so I'm red-green colorblind, so I can see colors. I just have a hard time differentiating between different types of reds, including purples and greens. Greens can typically look either yellow to me or brown to me. So I just did a search. I was like, let me just give it a try. I didn't want to spend $400 on a pair of colorblind glasses, so I saw this pair. It's says it corrects for all types of color blindness, and it's like a blue light filtering, and it's actually there. So I will tell you 2 things. Number 1, with these on, I pass all colorblind tests, and I've never done that in my entire life. So if I take a colorblind test, if you go on your phone and you look at those circles and see the numbers inside of there, my results are normal color vision, which is like so bizarre to me. Number 2, it's not going to ever fully correct color blindness. That's not really how color blindness works. What happens is the cones in our eyes, either they're not functioning properly or we just don't have them to pick up the different colors. So putting a pair of glasses on is not going to magically make those cones work or put that in. But what it will do, it will increase the contrast between different colors so that you can differentiate between them, which is how I can pass now like vision test for color blindness. It's really interesting. It kind of gives everything like a magenta.
It's bizarre. I put them on
hue, but it really helps the colors. Like for me, it really helps the colors pop a lot. So, for example, when I don't have these on, these like it makes everything just much more vibrant. I can tell. No problems whatsoever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these colors I can see I can differentiate between all of those colors. When I don't have them on, it's a little bit difficult for me to see the differences between this orange color and the color right below it. It's hard for me to see that. But with these on, I can absolutely pick those out. And oh wow, I'm just noticing behind me, like everything pops out and nothing looks the same anymore. Everything looks very different. Mm-hmm. So while with these on, I can't necessarily tell, like a lot of reds or what I perceive as red looks like yellowish to me, like a bright yellow. I can at least tell the difference between like a red and a green next to each other, or a red and purple next to each other, or a purple and blue next to each other. It's really cool. So I would like to try a different pair as well, like one specific to my colorblindness, because this one is for all colorblindness, and it really does just filter the light differently.
Yeah.
And that's typically where I struggle the most, is to see the difference between colors and to notice those different contrasts. So I'm really happy with the purchase. I got them on sale as well. I think I spent maybe $80 on these, but like I said, now they're down to $49.99.
Nice.
For Lumiglass. It took some time for them to come.
Not too long, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, really, really interesting. I don't know if you guys can you take a look? See? No.
No. Can I see them? I want to see.
But it's really
because I want to look at all the books back there, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of colored books in front of us, and see what they look like.
So it's never going to, again, I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, that's a, brick red versus a different red. But at least it'll help me differentiate and see the different colors, I guess. It's hard to explain.
Interesting. So the three Sarah J. Maas books right here. Right? Did you see those?
No.
Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah, Fourth Wing. Yep, yeah.
So I can't
and Iron
read
Flame.
The Sarah J. Maas books. The titles are in yellow. I can't read these two. With these on, I can't see the yellow doesn't come through as
Can I try?
clearly. Wow, that's weird.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's really it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to me to look at those colorblind tests, and I never was able to. I would fail every single one, but to get every single one correct, it's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know how else to explain it. It's not really correcting for.
It's making adjustments.
My color, yeah. It's filtering the light in a way that I can now differentiate between colors, not necessarily identify what those colors are, if that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, so that was that purchase. There's 2 other brands out there that I would like to try. The Enchroma ones are really, really popular, but those are like $350. I'm not spending that much money on them. But I would like to see that brand, and there was another brand that actually has specific lenses for the type of color blindness that you are. So,
all right. Cool beans.
Yeah, that's all.
So with that being said, that's all the knitting content, kind of. And we're just going to quickly go over what we've been reading and watching. So we've watched a lot.
We did.
You guys know that we like Mr. Ballin on YouTube, so we've spent one day literally just watching Mr. Ballin.
Yeah, he played on repeat.
We have finished Silo Season 2, which we thought was good.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what Season 3 does.
Yeah.
We finished Season 2 of Vikings last night, so we're on Season 3 of that.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show.
It is. We have finished watching something else.
We watched.
We're watching a new show. Oh,
we watched Night Agent.
Night Agent
season 2 of Night Agent,
which took a little while to get going, but I enjoyed Season 2 quite a bit.
Yeah, I want to say the last 3 or 4 episodes of Season 2. That's when I was really like, oh, this is really, really good.
It didn't get going as quickly for me as Season 1 did.
I think Season 1 was because it was like the concept was really interesting that I had never seen before.
Yeah. We also watched on Apple TV Plus. So Night Agent is Netflix. Silo is Apple TV Plus. Vikings is on Netflix. And then on Apple TV Plus, we started watching a new show that's still being released called Prime
Target.
Oh, this Prime Target, which I've actually really enjoyed. That character is mathematician, so that's why it's called Prime Target. He has a theory on prime numbers. So that one has been really good. We've watched like 4 episodes, I think. The other show that we've watched, which neither one of us are sure what the hell to do with this show now.
Oh, agreed.
Is called The Mosquito Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Again on Apple TV Plus. We finished Season 1. And this is a family that's on the run. From who we don't know. And for why we don't know.
Well, from who we kind of know some of it.
We think we know, but we're not really sure.
Well, we know the cartel. They're on the run from like 4 different who knows, organizations or something.
It's good, but we have no idea what's going on after season 1, really.
Right.
Which that's kind of frustrating.
Yes.
So if you've watched season 2 of that and you think it's worth it, let us know. Because we're like up in the air as to continuing or not.
Yeah.
And then we've watched some movies. We watched The Beast Within, which neither one of us...
I get it now.
We get it, but we didn't enjoy it while watching it, really. Like, it was just it was a little weird.
Yeah. So, no spoilers, but it's initially touted as you would think that you're watching a movie about a werewolf. It's not what it seems.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
So we watched that. We also just watched last night, again on Apple TV Plus, is The Gorge.
The Gorge.
Which I liked it. I thought it was decent. Like,
I thought it was decent.
It's not going to win an Oscar.
No, I don't. Not even.
Which
close.
I think, you know what? I've thought about this quite a bit. Is that I think we need to
it was entertaining.
Stop justifying something that we enjoyed, even though it's not award winning. Right? Like, it's not going to win an Oscar, but we liked it. Like,
but it was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
I don't regret the hour and 40 minutes that we sat there and watched the movie.
Right. No, I'm saying, but we'll do that too with like a book. Like, oh, we read it. It's not going to win any awards. It wasn't written well or blah, 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 but I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it.
Then we enjoyed it. Yeah. We don't need any like
justification. Like, even though it's not going to win something.
Sure.
I just thought it was weird. I thought this the other day when we said something and I was like, why do we do that?
Yeah.
But
because there are movies and books out there that are just like rock your world. Like, wow, that was deep. That was just like, whoa.
Right. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I changed my life because I read it.
Totally. Yeah.
But The Gorge, I thought it was entertaining. It has Miles Teller in it. It is...
And Sigourney Weaver.
I forget the girl's name in it. I think she's in The Queen's Gambit.
I don't know, but she's got huge eyes.
She does. She was really good. I actually really enjoyed her character too. It was interesting. I watched the trailer for it a couple months ago, and when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh wow! Like I really want to watch that. That seems like an interesting concept." And I thought it was. It's kind of like, it's not horror.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
what it
is. Yeah, it's good.
And there's one other one, and I can't find the name of it. It ends.
Oh, yes. It ends before it begins, or it ends when it begins.
It ends when it begins.
Or it ends as it begins. Something like that. We'll find it in a second. The concept is that...
it begins with the end.
It begins with the end. This one I liked a lot.
Nope. No. No, that's not it.
It starts with the end? Or
I don't know. You talk, I'll try.
So it's so basically there's a bunch of rain and storms and things that happen, and they hit the London area and the surrounding areas in England. And the major cities become flooded. People need to evacuate. The waters and stuff continue to rise. Blah, 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 blah. They set up shelters all around, and you're following this woman who at the start is pregnant. She delivers her baby during this storm, and she now has to survive this complete shift while raising her baby.
The end we start from.
Oh, the end we start from. Something similar to that. So, she's with her husband. They ended up needing to separate, go different ways because of circumstances. And then, they come back to rebuild, you would think. I thought it was really good.
It was good. It was a slower paced movie.
It really was.
And
there wasn't it wasn't action.
It's not an action. It's more of a drama. It's definitely a drama. It's not really a romance. It's
it kind of explored those feelings, and I guess really like what the concept of a beginning is. Like, you'd think like having a baby and being married, like that's the beginning of your new life, but now you're throwing in, you have to adjust to this new way of living. I don't know. It was really interesting. It made me think. It was a cool story.
Yeah, it made us think afterwards too. Like, we had conversations about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And there was another something that
there was something else. Wasn't there about a grandfather? Who was the grandfather of that person?
I don't know. I do know that you and we watched something.
Oh, it was the we talked already about it on the podcast. It was Caddo Lake.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, we talked about that one. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what we've been watching. And then reading wise, I have finished 2 books and I'm currently reading 1. So last time we actually talked about what we were reading. I was reading book 2 in the Bound and Broken series. So I have finished book 2, which was, stop that. Did I return the other ones? Of Darkness and Light. This is by Cahill. And this one, it's still a lot of world building in this. We get introduced to some new characters, some new places in this universe. Also some new, it goes into magic a little bit more, which isn't really covered in book 1 so much. Mm-hmm. We learn a little bit more about the spark. So this is a high fantasy, I think is what it's classified as, novel or series. You have elves and dwarves and dragons and shades. So you have all of this stuff. It's based in a world where the emperor is considered bad by certain factions. And it's very like, that type of good versus evil. The rebels are now want to like overthrow the government type of thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to like give much away.
Then that's all you need to say. Is it good?
It's fantastic. I love it. I love the world building in this. There are some slower moments in the book, but it's just so good. It's very long. This book was just over 800 pages. And the next book 3, is like close to 1,500, I believe. So once I finished that book, I moved on and I read Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the Empyrean series. I said Imperium and she thought I called her.
Really?
I enjoyed it.
Did you nickname her that?
No, I enjoyed the book. There were points in that second half of the book that I really just didn't want to stop. There was actually one night, it was last weekend before both of us got sick, actually. One night, like, you didn't fall asleep till 3, and there was one night where I didn't fall asleep till 3 in the morning. I just kept reading the damn book.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, like, you couldn't sleep one night and you were up to 3 a.m. I think last weekend on Friday night. On Saturday night, I couldn't sleep. I was up to 3 a.m. So it's just like, well, I'm not falling asleep. I might as well just keep going. And I kept going. I love Rebecca Yarros. I hate the fact that she likes a good cliffhanger. So now we have to wait to book 4. And from what I read recently, she's taking a break from writing book 4. So who the hell knows when that's coming out. So that's finished. And I'm currently reading Protecting Mr. Fine by Lucy Lennox. This is book 4 in another male series that I'm reading. It is the Billionaire Brotherhood book 4. So I needed a break before I jumped into book 3 of the Cahill series. Like, I just read 2 800-page books back to back. So I was like, let's do a little short one before we jump into like a 1,600-page book. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I'll finish it tonight.
Fantastic.
And then I have 1 book left in that series.
That's great.
So that's what I've been reading.
I finished 2 books since we've last chatted. I finished Of Blood and Fire, The Bound and Broken, number 1. That's the book 1 of the series that Kevin was just talking about. I thought it was good as well. I think I gave it like 3.5, 4 stars. The book. It's interesting. Interesting concept. It is a slow burn, I think. So I'm curious to try book 2 to see if, now that we're kind of like in the middle of it, like how things go.
Yeah.
I think for me, because the second book that I finished was The Eternal Empire, Father of the Mountain, which was book 8 of the 13th Paladin series, by Torsten Weitze. And I think because that series and the of Blood and Fire, the universes are very similar, like high fantasy kind of thing, that I don't know, like it wasn't different enough for me, if that makes any sense. Like it was, I felt like I was almost cheating on my Paladin series because they're both like in the same kind of genre.
All right.
And I'm obviously 8 books in, whatever. Like I'm fully committed to Arn and his world.
Yeah.
That like this one was like, okay, I don't know. So I liked it. It's not that I didn't like it. I think it's good, and I will read the second one.
Good. I just want to say something that made me want to read this series. That really got me into it. Is I thought that the prologue of book 1 was so good. You get to the end and you're like, oh crap! Like I need to know what happens. I didn't find out what happened in that prologue until the very last line.
Yeah, you still don't.
Of book 2.
Oh, great. So I still have no idea what. Anyway, I think it's really cool though. I think it's an interesting concept. Like I'm very curious to find out what happens to one of these all of the characters, but one of them who is, kind of doing his thing.
Agreed.
So, but yes. So I finished Father of the Mountain, book 8. The 13th Paladin series is probably, I would say, my favorite book series so far. I'm listening to that on Audible. I have moved on to The Forest of Ire, which is book 9 in that series, and I'm almost done with that one. There are 13 books. I don't know what I'm going to do after I'm done with all 13, because I really am loving these people. I love every single character. It's I can't say enough about it. And the narrator is just the tops. I love him. And then I did also start Onyx Storm. It's a long book, so with my 10 to 15 minutes at nighttime, I haven't been making much progress with it. I think I'm at the 50% mark, maybe.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And I like it. It took me a while.
Yeah.
To get back into it.
Yes.
I felt like there were just so many characters and names that I had to like go back through and like, who is this person? Who's this person? How are they related to this person? And
I wish I at least read book 2 prior to starting book 3, just to get back in there and get all the names straight.
Because now you're introducing new people as well, into this. So it took me some time to kind of get there, and I'm still not 100% there with the backstory, because I guess so much happened in book 2 that it was hard.
I went back and read part of a chapter in book 2 towards the end. Just to get a little clarity on some things, and then I was like, oh, okay, I kind of remember what's going on now.
Yeah. So, that's kind of where I'm at. I think it's really good. I love the dragons.
Personalities.
And I love our main character, Violet. There are some racier...
It was racier. This book is much racier than books 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a lot of descriptors.
Please don't use any.
With anatomy that made me a little uncomfortable.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable.
Well, yes, you also read, Steel Rod and
Don't judge my reading habits.
Dripping oil cans or something like that. So, anyway, it's good. Can't wait to finish.
And so with that, I believe that is everything. So thank you for sticking with us through this mess of a podcast, because We are obviously not.
I have no idea what we said. If you need clarification, just wait for the next one.
No, don't. We wouldn't know what to clarify.
Maybe we'll consider this the lost episode.
The lost episode.
Hey! Join us at skiing, will you?
Yeah, next week we'll be there.
Yeah.
No later than 12:30 on Saturday.
We have some really, just as an FYI, keep your ears and eyes peeled. We've got some trunk shows that we're going to be planning this upcoming year. And
we have 3 right now in the works.
Yeah, and some really cool locations. So yeah, keep your attention there.
So
we are going to podcast again before we go to...
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, because in 2 weeks it's the end of February, so for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we hope that you guys have a great 2 weeks. Enjoy your crafting, and we will see you in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye.